Alright, I'm just gonna do a quick video, hopefully. Got a Sealand. Let's see if I can't get the model number for you guys. Sealand model 510 plus. This is the original factory installed toilet. It's a China bowl. The customer previous year or so ago did change out the flapper seal right here on the ball valve because it wasn't holding water. It's still not holding water, and so he wanted me to change that seal out. But usually, if the new seal didn't solve the problem, we need to replace this little ball valve right there. And it doesn't make any sense to invest that kind of time and money into a toilet that's 13 years old. Figured, yeah, we'll just put a new one in. It's just as much work to put a new one in as it is to tear this one apart, and then you don't have to worry about maybe the water valve breaking next, or the vacuum breaker back here breaking next, because it looks like that was about ready to go anyway. So we could have been throwing about $500 into parts on a $350 toilet. What I did find out is not so good. So I got the new version. This is a 510H high and white. It should be the exact same replacement model number for this, but if you take a look at the mounting bolts here, there's 4 of them. It uses this gross guy right here to actually go down to the the closet flange at the floor, or the floor flange. However, if we go inside, here's the new one. It looks about the same. Pedal's a little bit different. The cover under here is a little bit different. But check this out. They went from 4 mounting bolts on the outside of that ring to just like a standard toilet with 2 on each side. And then it has 2 rear flange holes right here. That's to put a lag screw down into the floor. They did solve a problem with this base not being quite as robust as it probably should have been, but they created a lot more problems for me, because if we go inside here, Winnebago installed this spacer right here on the floor, so I got to keep that in. But the flange right here doesn't swivel. I've already repositioned this because luckily Winnebago uses grommets, just rubber grommets into the tank, so the pipe itself can spin in the grommet. But if this was glued in place or any other problem, I would have had to make my own notches in this floor flange. I have done that before so that the mounting bolts would have had somewhere to line into. But the next problem was those rear lag screw holes. If you'll notice, this is tile. I just can't drill straight down into there, and the lag screws they sent me are way too short. So I had to get longer ones, put the whole toilet on there into position, find the place where they would go in, drill through this spacer block, and make sure that I was clearing the tile underneath. I had to angle it back just a little bit just so I could clear the tile that's underneath. So that's very frustrating. I know I didn't make much sense when I told you about this flange here, because I already had it repositioned and I wasn't going to move it back because it was actually, you can see all the mineral buildup on this. It was kind of difficult to move it. So originally, this is how those 4 bolts would have been on this flange here. So we had to go, I don't know, call it 90 degrees, so that I could put these bolts in the slots on the flange. You can see right there. Alright, so now we're underneath. So that's what I was talking about. So I went from this to these 2 bolts and this and some lag screws through the back. The other problem is the new toilet's barely sitting on this flange, or the spacer block now. It's still on it, but man, if I would have known it was going to be such like an ordeal like this, I definitely would have gone with another toilet. Well, there's been mounted. Should be nice and tight now. Okay. So you can kind of see what I was talking about. This barely fits on that flange there, especially in the back. So let's get the cover and the cap put on. You know what? Let's turn the water pump on. Well, there it is. Nice install. And just put this cap and everything back on. I don't see it leaking anywhere. Do you guys see it leaking? I don't see it leaking. So let's get the first easy thing back on. I say that and it'll be the difficult thing. Let's see. So you got the slot right there. It'll fit right. Last thing's going to be the lower cover. Just got these hair rubber bands that loop over. That's it. That's the 4-foot view. And it flushes. I guess I'll add some water to it. Come back and make sure it's not leaking. Otherwise, what problem did I fix? So I'll go ahead and get this toilet installed. But in the future, if there's a 510 Traveler, Dometic Traveler, and I'm going to replace the whole thing, I'll probably just recommend going with a completely different toilet rather than its direct replacement. I don't know why the factory would have done this to me. I thought I was ahead of the curve ball there. All right, I thought I was ahead of the ball, but it threw a curve at me. That's what I meant to say. So this it would have just been a 30-minute job at the most. Swap it out, put a new one in, bam, done. And it turned into a little bit longer of a job for sure. I hope this helps somebody, or at least me in the future. Try a different toilet in the future. Let's see if I can't get it under there. If you'll notice, the toilet lid's off. They got an aftermarket soft lid closing, so I have to swap the toilet lid off their old one. That's the only reason why that's off.